I got this, I'm in it. I'm hella filthy, so I got this, I'm winning. I'm not a quitter, so I'm not fucking quitting. Just try to stop me and you'll drop dead missing.
In a sport as inherently violent as mixed martial arts, Michael Chandler stands out as one of the most vicious fighters in the stacked lightweight division.
Michael Chandler, so fun to watch.
I'll see you at the top.
What a fight. The absolute dream match.
The 155-pound weight class is rightfully regarded as the crown jewel of the UFC, loaded with talent from top to bottom. But the lightweights, especially the elite top 10, are just built differently. An enigmatic combination of skill, grit, and sheer savagery.
Surprise, surprise! Oh, Michael Chandler!
This guy has power for days and so violent. He is an absolute animal.
Conor McGregor! Get your KDS back to the octagon!
While we celebrate their talent and charisma, we can't overlook their viciousness enough. From BJ Penn disfiguring his opponents,
Here we go. That's it. That's a wrap. It is all over. BJ Penn.
to Khabib Nurmagomedov mauling his victims,
On the chin.
There's the tap! Still undisputed! Khabib Nurmagomedov!
the elite 155-pounders are some of the baddest men in the game. Step into the cage with Iron Mike, and you'll quickly realize you're in for a fight like no other. His relentless pressure, thunderous power in all limbs, and incredible conditioning allow him to sustain a pace that few can match.
Big knockdown for Michael Chandler! Big right hand, Dan's hurt. Chandler covering up!
It's over.
Whether you're a hot prospect or battle-hardened veteran, Chandler will find a home for his bone-rattling strikes that make you instantly regret your career choice. Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson, a UFC veteran known for his unbreakable chin and never being knocked out, faced a career-altering moment at UFC 274 against Michael Chandler. Despite being 38 at that time and losing 3 fights in a row, Ferguson looked sharp in the first round, parrying jabs, countering body shots, and even dropping Chandler. The odds favored Chandler slightly, but Ferguson's performance had fans believing in El Cucuy again. However, just 17 seconds into round 2, Chandler threw a rare front kick that caught Ferguson flush in the jaw, rendering him unconscious. All it took was one shot from Chandler and Ferguson found himself sleeping after a front kick to the face for what seemed like 2 to 3 minutes. The impact was so severe that Ferguson confessed on social media. "I took a big kick to the chin last Saturday night inside that octagon. It knocked me out for a long time. It was a scary feeling, not remembering anything from the start of the second round until I got to the ambulance." This marked Ferguson's first KO loss in 31 pro fights, a testament to the power and precision of Chandler's strike. Justin Gaethje. And after the war at UFC 291 in the main event match, Dustin Poirier, one of the division's greats, was left unconscious on the canvas by the fists of Justin Gaethje.
Gaethje fans being heard from now, about a minute gone by round 2.
Justin Gaethje! Head kicks! Dustin Poirier into the stratosphere!
Gaethje does this to almost everyone he faces, whether promising prospects or seasoned vets. Stepping into the cage with him is hell, as he'll find a shot, each strike making you question your life choices. But early on UFC 268, something else happened. Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler's lightweight fight at UFC 268 was an all-out war that left fans in awe. Chandler started strong, peppering Gaethje's legs with kicks and nearly rocking him early, but Gaethje, nicknamed the Highlight, lived up to his name. He fired back relentlessly in the first round, which many experts are calling one of the best rounds in MMA history, rivaling the legendary Diaz vs. Daly fight. In round 2, Gaethje nearly ended the fight when he dropped Chandler with a massive punch. But Chandler, a former 3-time Bellator champ, showed incredible grit by weathering the storm. His face was a mask of blood, and Gaethje was taking over. The final round was pure chaos, with both men landing heavy shots despite their fatigue.
Oh, he's got his hands locked. Oh my goodness. Justin Gaethje. Gaethje takes the back.
After 15 minutes of heart-stopping action, Gaethje won by decision, cementing his spot as the top contender.
Justin the Highlight Gaethje.
After the contest, it was reported by Jose Youngs of MMA Fighting that both men were on their way to the hospital. Chiefly, their medical transport meant that they would not be speaking to the media after their 2021 Fight of the Year performance. However, given the war both men just went through, it's no surprise they're on their way towards a medical evaluation. Alvarez. By the time their rematch happened, Chandler and Alvarez were both battle-tested champions looking to settle the score. From the opening bell, it was a brutal war of attrition. Alvarez's precise striking opened up abrasion under Chandler's right eye early, with blood soon trickling down his face. But Chandler gave as good as he got, cracking Alvarez with powerful punches that had the Mexican-American warrior leaking crimson from his own cuts.
1-2 to answer though from Chandler.
The two traded heavy leather at a torrid pace, neither man willing to take a backward step. Chandler managed to ground the action repeatedly, but Alvarez's gritty takedown defense prevented any prolonged periods of control.
Are right in front of us. That is all crank. Pure power on the jaw and the neck.
In the fifth and final round, both fighters were battered and bloodied masks of their former selves. Alvarez nearly finished it by slapping on a tight rear naked choke, Chandler's face turning beet red as he fought the choke with every ounce of his being. Somehow, he survived, and they battled on to the final horn. Ultimately, although it could have gone either way, Alvarez won a split decision victory. He gave full credit to Chandler, saying it takes two fighters to put on such a war, praising Chandler's heart and determination, as he said these bruises could be seen on one of his eyes and face. Charles Oliveira. The main event of UFC 262 was an absolute barn burner. Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler went to war, battling for the lightweight championship belt. At first, it seemed like Chandler had the upper hand. He came out swinging, using his heavy fist to pound Oliveira and leave him in a bad spot. By the end of the first round, Chandler was doing some of the same things he did to put Dan Hooker away earlier this year, and it looked like Oliveira might be headed for a similar fate. But then, just like that, the tables turned. As soon as the second round began, Oliveira landed a beautiful left hand right on Chandler's chin.
Oh! Knockdown for Oliveira now! Now a knee to the body for Charles and a right hand! Chandler's in trouble! Now Chandler is down! He's down! Charles Oliveira is the undisputed UFC lightweight champion!
It was the perfect shot, and Oliveira knew it. He jumped on Chandler, raining down punches until the referee had to step in and stop the fight. In just 19 seconds, Oliveira went from being on the ropes to becoming the new UFC lightweight champion. But this was not an easy one for Charles. Left with injured limbs, bruised face, and bleeding gums with just enough proof what it's like to fight Michael Chandler. Dustin Poirier. It was a huge night for Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler at UFC 281. Poirier was looking to bounce back after losing his lightweight title fight against Charles Oliveira. Meanwhile, Chandler wanted to get back in the win column after defeats to Justin Gaethje and the new champ Oliveira. Their fights promised fireworks, and boy did it deliver. Right from the start, it was a back and forth war. Chandler came out blazing in round one, but Poirier dropped him at the end.
Chandler's in trouble! Oh, big connection by Dustin late in the round! Oh, Chandler in a world of trouble late here, round one!
He's still fighting. 2 seconds. Oh my God, we get round 2.
Round two saw Chandler take control on the ground, battering Poirier, but then Diamond turned it around in the third, taking Chandler's back and locking in a rear naked choke for the huge comeback win.
He's in tight. He's got it tight. He got it.
Dustin Poirier submits Michael Chandler in round 3.
However, the excitement was overshadowed by some real dirty tricks from Chandler. He outrageously shoved fingers in Poirier's mouth, hit him in the back of the head repeatedly, and even blew his bloody nose onto Poirier. A furious Poirier confronted him after, yelling about the finger in the mouth. Chandler tried to play it cool, but Poirier wasn't having any of those dirty antics. And now, on the much-anticipated UFC 303 main event, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler at welterweight. Whom do I think will win? Conor McGregor's slick striking and pinpoint accuracy have long been his calling cards, but his game has regressed in recent years as he has become overly reliant on his boxing. Michael Chandler hits just as hard as McGregor, but with a much wilder and unpredictable style that makes him willing to take shots to deliver his own big blows. While McGregor's defensive skills and output slightly edge him in the striking realm, Chandler is far more accomplished on the ground. We haven't seen much of Chandler's submissions in the UFC, but over his 31-fight career, he has notched 7 submission wins over elite grapplers like Eddie Alvarez. McGregor, in contrast, has just 1 submission victory and has tapped 4 times himself. Where Chandler shines is in the wrestling department. The former collegiate wrestler has used his elite takedown ability to ground opponents at will in the UFC. McGregor, on the other hand, has consistently shown a weakness in stopping takedowns. McGregor's massive star power could potentially rattle Chandler with his notorious mind games. However, Chandler's path to victory is seen as using his wrestling to negate McGregor's striking. The early prediction is that Chandler will be able to drag the Irishman into a grappling hell, sapping his gas tank until he can unleash fight-ending ground and pound in the 3rd round to claim a TKO victory over the biggest name in the sport.